That's my thing is, Brownback came in and did all these cuts. They did all these cuts to programs, but anytime they do these cuts, I never see our taxes go down. They always go up. So if they've cut services, where is the money they're saving that we're supposed to be getting back?
So there's a philosophical question that's buried underneath that question that answers your question that we need to talk about. So we need to talk about neoliberalism here and what that is. Okay, so neoliberalism is an economic philosophy. All right. It gets started by Friedrich von Hayek and then turns into Milton Friedman, all these people that are associated with the Kochs and then conservative circles. Basically what it says is the family is the fundamental economic unit of society, that economics is a better way of redistributing resources than democracy is. So you need to keep the state small, and the state should only do protective stuff. And then if you work and you have competition, all the things are there, and the state doesn't interfere with the market will take care of everything else. So the ideal political situation that they want you to be in is to be a consumer in Walmart, choosing between two different things. Let's say that's 2 spatulas, right? You get to judge the quality, and the best use of political agency is judging whether or not one spatula is as equal quality as the other one, and then going and choosing and buying which one depending on their price, right? Now that is an extremely reductive view of an individual, but that also shows that they want you to be acting as a private individual, only buying from private companies and only doing private things. If they could privatize your roads and make you pay a tax to a private company, they would.
Well,
and that's because you are not exempt from the rules. Only the people who are at the tippy top are exempt from the rules, right? They want, they think your Kochs and everybody else, all these billionaires, think that they are exempt from public things because they think taxes are a punishment. Taxes are not a punishment, especially federal taxes. Like, your federal taxes are the thing that create demand for your currency.
Taxes why we have the building we're sitting in right now.
Yeah.
And
taxes fund the public library.
The other day I got
many things.
They said the taxes on our car came, and they do it different in Shawnee County than Sedgwick County. And they send you out a bill. It's not just part of your tax. And it is like $248 versus $40 in Sedgwick County. Yeah. But they have the most amazing library.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've been in there, but I interviewed a guy that's running for governor in there. It is so cool and beautiful. And I was like, okay, well, and that's the trade-off. In Topeka, they clean my streets once a week. They don't do that in Wichita.
Right.
They remove everybody was upset that they didn't remove the snow from the side streets. Yep. And I'm like, they do that here? And so that's why my car property taxes are higher.
And you look at that, like, take that. We're in the Hayes Public Library right now, and I'm looking out the window. You probably can't see this on camera, but there's a puzzle group that's meeting over in the corner.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
You get in public libraries community, right? And these billionaires want to be exempt from that. They want to get all their yes men, and they want to create their own communities that are just them. And then you get your private islands, and you get your Epstein problems. Like, this is not okay.
Because we're just sheep, cattle to be used.
Exactly. And that's what our labor resource is. It sucks that they have
We're
to
just numbers
pay us
on a
so
spreadsheet.
Much. Yeah.
We're numbers on a spreadsheet. I was in HR for like 5 years, and I thought going into HR that I would be like the advocate for the workers. And no, HR is about protecting the company against lawsuits. So that opened my eyes to a lot of how just even like a smaller company, this wasn't a big corporation, really just looks at a spreadsheet to decide who to fire. And
here's the craziest thing. So I have a Baptist minister that lives across the street from me. He's a really great guy. I love talking to him. I wave at him every single time. Now, I was raised Catholic. I don't particularly attend church or anything anymore. We can personally go into that background at some other point in time.
I don't care.
But
I would like to not know anybody that's running for office or at the state house's religion. Because they just,
I guess my point, I think, is that we agree on a lot of different stuff, right?
Yes.
But that's also because we share a public road right in between our houses that when we go out to mow, forces us to have a little bit of a gap and then say, oh, hi. and then we jump across the street and then we start talking. You know, you can do that in a rural community. It's harder to do that in a subdivision or in an urban area because there's all these things that are pulling you in different directions, right?
Well, yeah, and it's just not. When they're setting up big cities, it's just not being set up in a cohesive way to build a community within there. They're not giving them a green spaces. They're not giving them.
Yeah. It's not the same thing.
To be and build community like your library. That's free. That's the main thing. In a city, it costs money to build community.
Yeah. Well, and it does too in rural spaces, right? It just does that differently. So